So this week, I was like one of those air dancing things that you see at car dealers. I don't know if you know that they're long, thin, tubey men, typically, that are kind of dancing in the wind. And they're here, there, and they're everywhere. And then unfortunately for me, someone tripped over the wire, pulled it out, and I collapsed. I'm Antoinette, and every Sunday I share what I've been percolating on in the week. And generally it's a 5 or 10 minute chunk, and I call it my Sunday soul search. So this week I have been percolating. Actually, I've been percolating on these things for 2 weeks, but yet again, something else occurred in the last 24, 48 hours that's just had me thinking lots over the weekend. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. The air's back on, hooray! But I remembered that I'd forgotten one of my newer rules, and that is that it's okay to say no. I'm going to repeat that. It's okay to say no. Now, for a people-pleasing British woman of a certain age, that word can feel horrendous. And it's something that I've really had to work my way up to, but oh, so easily forgotten. But the flip side of that, so the flip side of me that doesn't say no, that keeps on saying yes to things that I shouldn't do, leads to overtiredness, a foggy brain, public crying happened this week, or worse, outbursts of anger. So yes, like note to self, do I need to book therapy for some of these things? I've got an interesting story that I've heard or read somewhere, but it goes like this. So when Bill Gates first met Warren Buffett, two icons of industry, Gates's mum was hosting the affair, and she apparently asked everybody around the table to share the single most important factor to their success. And both Gates and Buffett gave the same answer. And that word was focus. Now, I'm feeling a little chuffed because I was asked the same question this week, like, what's your word for the year? And my word for the year is focus. I've got to be focused with all the things that I want to achieve, do, dream, birth, all of that. It's going to take a great deal of focus. But as I said before, it's just so easy to kind of forget that mantra and go, yeah, okay, I can do it. Pick me. So, when I first started to think about this saying no, somebody really wise said to me that every time you say yes to something that you shouldn't do, you're probably saying no to something else. Now, in this instance, she was saying you're probably saying no to something God's asking you to do. So every time you say yes to the wrong thing, you're probably not leaving yourself room to say yes to the right thing. So do we need to reframe our narrative? Do we need to reframe that word and make it a hero once again? So what do you need to say no to this week? Is it that extra meeting that you're trying to squeeze in? Is it a phone call with somebody that you probably like or love, but actually, if you don't have the capacity, is it right for this week? Can they go somewhere else? Does it need to be moved? Is it no, this is a bit of a funny sentence, is it no to being the yes person in a meeting? You know, that awkward silence when they say, so who's going to do that? And everybody's eyes go down and the tumbleweed moment happens and people start doodling on their pads and you're just like, I don't care there's any more picnic. That's often me in a meeting. I just need this meeting. I need out of this meeting. I'll do anything. So is it saying no to being the yes person in your family, in the meeting, in your friendship group, whatever group of people you find yourself in? Do you remember last week when we talked about the Pareto principle? Don't be that 20 all the time. And is it good to just reframe it and think of all the lovely things that you could be saying yes to instead? So an early night, the studies on sleep at the moment and what good sleep enables us to do. My goodness, it's like world-changing stuff and health benefits too. Is it more time with people that give you energy and joy? Saying no to one thing and it enables you to say yes to people that give you energy and joy. And then, yes then to going on and doing all the other things that benefit you and the society around you. I've actually had to say no to a lovely dinner with lovely people this evening because I'm tired. And had I not been tired, I could have been with them being fed up, full up, and out into the world tomorrow. So should have said no to a couple more things this week. Is it time to sit and radically do nothing? Because again, that is some of the birthplace of creativity, when our brains are just able to rest from the juggle of all the kind of basic survival stuff, and then we've got space to think, create, dream, which then gives us some of the most amazing things that have happened on this planet. So time to sit and radically do nothing. Is it time, and I think this is a big one, is it more time or more capacity to commit to a task or a purpose that has been tailor-made for you? By saying no to something else, you are saying yes to your purpose and yes to the things that only you can do in the way that they need to be done. You get my drift, right? So saying no to something enables you to say yes to something else that really fits, that you're on this place. I keep banging on that. You're on the planet to do. Be thinking that through. I love this quote. So it says, learning to say no and letting it hang out there all alone in its glory is a small kind of superpower. The other big word on my vision board for this year is the word unapologetic. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to be a cow and just be hurting people all over the place and not even saying like, sorry, sorry, not sorry. No. Unapologetic, for me on that board, it's reminding myself that no is a complete sentence. You've heard that phrase before, potentially. No is a complete sentence. I'm just going to say no. I'm not going to say, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, but no. Or no, and here's why, 5 hours later. No. Can you do that thing? No. And that's it. Full stop, as the Americans would say, period. So yeah, that's me this week. That's me done. Sunday soul search. Took a bit of a left-hand turn. But a good sleep this afternoon has helped me reframe the just say no. That I know that was a drugs campaign, but no, that's where we're going with this. An unapologetic no. What's on your mind this week? Please do share in the comments below. I'd love to hear that. Have a good one, y'all.